to a frenzy after Moto 3 and Moto 2. Quartararo and Morbidelli. End of 2018 for Yamaha. Time moves on, doesn't it, folks? Petrucci, free practice. Nakagami on Cal Crutchlow's old bike. That works round here. He is looking very, very good on that HRC development bike. Bradley Smith got work to do, took a massive beating in free practice earlier on in the weekend. But from that pole position, the MotoGP of Spain is you've got to watch out for the 93 because through comes Marc Marquez. He got that perfect down into turn one. Dobby gets lifted twice. Dobby goes backwards. Dobby has been put back to fifth place by the Taro. They're chasing down Marc Marquez in turn three already. We're already halfway around this. That's a disaster for him.
Looked like Rossi got a good start.
From where he had to start, he went into Q1 and he didn't get in the top two to go through to Q. Marquez would have been a bit early for that, but the old
Yamaha wasn't slow.
No, it wasn't slow. Like last year, he was almost invisible when he rode for the Mark VDS MotoGP team on the Honda.
Ferraro, his pace in FP4 Keith was Marquez, same sort of lap times on race tyres.
And he was having a good look at, got a lot of fuel load on. Maverick Vinales gets under Quartararo. No, he doesn't. Gets in the line at the end of the first lap at 25. Marc Marquez goes over the line. Under the spot is 6th. Petrucci is 7th. Crutchlow is only 8th at the moment with old teammate. He's had a horrible weekend so far. Jack Miller as well. There he is, forcing his way up the inside.
Not been working for Jack. We've seen him at the start of this year. He's looked like a different, cooler customer on that. But he's turned up here and it looks like he's on one of his old bikes. It just is not working for these.
Squeaking away at the front at the moment. Marquez then, that opening lap was a 45. How cool this Frenchman can be at 20 years old. A lot of pressure on him as well.
Was there a gap?
Yes, there was, because he made it. He made one.
There was a...
Oh, dear me. I don't either, but I'm just quite happy. Looking really hard at him at the moment, so Franco Moore will get more by every single lap that he passes around here in the Reds. We come to the end pace as well. What a team money, but the Sepang International Circuit that's running the team as well. That's sure. Whoa, they ran it a bit hot there. The Ducati ran out wide, so he's now got Rins all over him. That's Rins we're looking back at, the 42. Fighting hard.
Down in 9th on the grid, already up to 23 laps to go. Yeah, we need to start looking.
Rins look after them pretty well, and that for me would be the biggest problem that Marquez has
done this weekend though, Keith. From FP1 he put a hard 9 laps on the soft. He's done race distance, and actually he knows,
you know, in that 5th place at the moment. We're looking back honourable at this moment in time. Look forward to him now, a mile long, so the Ducati really can't use Morbidelli. Has Rins got him? Not quite.
Keith to pass, because you see how much the Suzuki lost.
Turn 2 drops downhill. It's a bit flat here. Your track piece was really interesting when you said that he might have been a bit slack into there, so he tried a bit harder. What did he do? Ready. So
it just sucks you in, doesn't it, Keith? It's that downhill approach to it. It's flat.
So at the moment, oh, scary.
15th place. In free practice 1, was he 2nd fastest? Yes, he was. They all said he's definitely. Well, he looks like he's going to be on for a.
He's tough. He comes back from injury.
Tough. I'm not saying he's not tough,
but the trouble is, it's that spin.
It was actually going off with his, let's say, the way he made the bike a lot shorter, a little bit more nervous.
Though he's had enough pace this week for Marquez to have followed him a few teammates to see where he may have an advantage. Marquez at the moment, then look at the 2 in there, and he is the man that is in Franco Raro. Then it is Vinales on the full, a complete outright new lap record. We've got a complete outright
0.3, Keith. Thought they'd be nudging the 37s. Don't get me.
And I still don't know whether the tyre distance yet. We're going to see what it's. More long runs on the hard tyres than anyone else. They're not used. One of them, it hasn't been used at all. The hard rear that you might have expected them to try out at some stage. So they've
placed. That wasn't a 1-lap wonder, was it, from the Petronas boys?
No, it wasn't.
Ducati can squeeze back past him on the short start and finish straight.
Almost certainly.
And that's frustrating. Good on the brakes and
fractionally naughty actually. Dobby took up all the space on the braking area there, as it was at that particular point. So then we're on board with Rins looking at Andrea Dovizioso into turn 6, the Dani Pedrosa corner, just a bit too hot there.
Be interesting, you know, this is his 4th ever MotoGP race. He's just turned 20, experience comes in, and that's
Rins has certainly dealt with Dovizioso. This is what we're going to see in a second. That's getting the power on as quick as you can on the Suzuki to give yourself the place.
It was, and you
quarter speed round the outside.
You can guarantee when Rins went past. Exactly. so it was better to go around the outside.
Yeah, Petrucci on here during the course of free practice and qualifying. Okay, so hopefully he will finish the race
in 11th place. They're all lapping very similar lap times, all within about
43 of Jack Miller to deal with.
37. And then your leader Marc Marquez.
Rins is coming.
And
Well, he's clever, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to save his tyres.
Exactly that, I would think. He's very good. That record by Jorge Lorenzo, 38.7. So we're 6 here. Keep taking the notes, Suzuki boys. It's in fact, Alex Rins, if you look at the Suzuki tops where the track wasn't in as good an order, perhaps, for Vinales.
Yeah.
Really, Texas was the first.
The first out-and-out, proper, dry, fair in the MotoGP era.
So
Gets a bit tight there, Keith.
it does, well, yeah, up under the spaceship. And you were right, what you said down on the grid. First time they get a chance to go up here. No one's practiced. First gear, second gear, and then you're on the brakes into turn one. It's really tricky. Here's Cal. Come on, Cal. Cal Crutchlow.
It's about him learning, and if there's a chance of a podium, which currently the whole world is patting you on your back, just to find that
Top five. Says it all. 0.6 then. Back to Morbidelli. Even in the time it took them to put that marker on his board.
That's right, and on that lap, Marquez set his fastest lap.
His pace a bit,
exactly what I was
because
thinking
Alex
as
Rins
well.
has come, and he did it at Texas, didn't he? So
Yeah, he's too
good though. It's incremental, isn't it? It's a tiny little bit. It's going to be a question of who's behind its neck and spin it like he might do. Otherwise, they have nothing left at the end of it. Quartararo, Vinales is right there, but this is the man we were talking about.
And that's the difference with MotoGP now, isn't it? We've said it before.
Well, we've done what, 9 laps, and there's only.
Morbidelli's lost a bit of rhythm now, hasn't he? As soon as that elastic band breaks, oh, here comes his teammate. Oh,
That's going to be tight. The sun's been on it. It was 43, 44 when we started this. It'll put it slippery. You've got the rear wheel in the air there. Does he pull the apex? Yes, he does. I was talking about more. First, I'll feel the rear end starting to spin a little bit. Fine, that's not a problem. But
it starts to turn to chewing gum.
you
And you can't do anything. You've literally to let go of the most pushes, doesn't it? You have to let the bike do its own thing.
Marquez, well, he's going to get that, and Morbidelli's going to run wide. Yeah, and he just ran a little wide. Quartararo kept his last year there, just then. That was Danny Pedrosa corner, by the way. He was very calm and cool, you know, Fabio. It's quite easy when someone's running on to follow them, isn't it?
Junior world champion when he was 30. Well, he was junior world champion at 13 and 14. Because he was that good. They changed the rules for him, really.
They changed the rules. I mean, if you're the champion, whereas 16 is the earliest entry normally. Here's Rins. He did, mate, and that wasn't easy at all, because he was so committed. He could have got that so wrong.
On that lap, when he passed his teammate, dug in and set his fastest lap.
It was a bit early to sign him. Yes, it was early to sign him, because he was signed very early. If you remember, right from the beginning, Fabio Quartararo just looked like he'd got the style to run a MotoGP bike.
Because at the time,
it was early.
It almost looked like it was the Yamaha really well. So it was a bit of a Quartararo did well in that one race,
but I don't think factory Yamaha were expecting a situation like with bikes, but not the factory bikes that Valentino and Maverick Vinales has. Got to say, when he was round congratulating them, it was through gritted teeth yesterday, that's for sure.
Now, a factory team and factory riders can't do this, but there's head angles. I've heard this, I've had a bit of inside information on it. Is made and stuff like that, but the general base setting of that bike, they're changing everything constantly from week to week. But yeah, factory in Japan, where
Quartararo, Gav or you, or it might be Michael actually, but you know, asking him about that, but it's not quite the bike that Morbidelli's got.
No, it's a lesser spec, it's Lassie and Maverick Vinales. Don't get me wrong, and there is the latest parts will go on straight onto Valentino's and.
You're better off riding what they brought. You've not got all that. You've got to ride it to a certain limit as well. You've got to find out where. And you put side of Morbidelli. So
play to Morbidelli there. Talk about Buffalo girls got lifted out in Morbidelli.
Well,
I'd expect nothing less, mind.
He was a Moto2 rider. Marc Marquez has just put the fastest lap of the race in. 1:38.1.
At half race this.
He is in 12th place. Stefan Brad, the wild card, is in front of Jorge Lorenzo on the full factory bike.
Oh,
Quartararo.
I cannot believe it, Keith.
What has happened to that, to the Petronas team? Can't believe it either.
I cannot believe that. That kid was on for
out of the Spanish Grand Prix.
It was 2 seconds behind the clear second place.
So Morbidelli was in second, the winner in Texas. He's going to surely make it another podium.
Well, 12 laps to go. Let's see what he's got.
Marquez, fastest lap of the race, a new lap record, another new lap record. Marquez is across the line. 38.2 this time, only 10th of a set, 3.7 seconds.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that gap. I can't see that. It's just too.
Oh, that was what you were talking about. Was it you again? I have to remember.
Yeah,
the shift.
Yeah, double shift that fast left-hander.
It's incredible. The amount of footwork you need to do that as well. At the moment, Danilo Petrucci behind him, teammate behind him, Cal Crutchlow 7th, Jack Miller 8th still. Here in 10th place, Nakagami, Aleix Espargaro, Stefan Bradro on the last point of this series. Well, there is a disappointment, a gear problem.
Yeah, possibly.
Looking down
I hope
it's
not something silly like On it.
Yeah, he's got no
Gear lever's fallen off.
Maybe. Disaster for...
Oh, actually, did he go down the gears then?
No, that was him just clutching and revving, wasn't it?
Very emotional kid. In this class for a while, Keith, what do you think?
20 years old.
Fastest lap of the race, guess
Again.
who? Yeah.
Jack Miller looking again at the inside of Cal
Oh, that was
Crutchlow.
late. He ain't going to make that corner. Yeah. That's it there,
Yeah.
Gwen. What are you doing? Come on, mate.
Crutchlow 7th.
Hey, you know, we saw the speed that the Yamahas have got the further up. Normally, we see him in this. Still 10 laps to go. But, I mean, at best, you'd have to say if he got in front of Miller and Chip. Oh, someone had some speed there.
They're supposed to be the same.
Yeah, I think must have been about getting...
Viñales goes second then. That's going third.
Next question is Keith. Andrea Dovizioso is yet...
Yeah, Ducati. Only Loris Capirossi has won on a Ducati around this racetrack.
You definitely would have thought. Yeah, all the way back in 2006 that was for Loris.
Bobby's got the pace, late race. He'll be looking to try and make the most of that late on. Flip back to 4th place. Viñales is in front of him. But Alex Rins is well up the road now. 0.9, another 2/10 to your race leader. So this is all about these guys. Through comes the street, didn't he?
He's one of those riders who's so frustrating to ride against because you don't know how...
Yeah, everything's waggling and
Spraying
hanging out.
sparks
Yeah.
fly.
He is all action, no doubt. Maverick Viñales is in 3rd, but for how long? Back in the box. Danilo's gone past Morbidelli as well. He's been going good this weekend, Danilo, but it really didn't show. Really, the best of 2019 for him already. I don't think he's been going that good in qualifying.
36, wasn't he, round here? But, hang on, it was wrong person.
Okay, it's 3.9 second lead as he comes to the end of yet another lap. The one where he nudged Jorge Lorenzo on the Yamaha, if you remember going back a bit.
Going. His last top 10 finish was back in...
3 odd seconds, so yeah, it's a long way behind.
4 seconds behind Stefan.
Spargo in 12th place, Taka Nakagami in 11th place. We're back with the race
at 38.4. Wow.
A machine. Here's balance.
Get past someone who accelerates away from you every time you pick the bike up. There for Joan Mir, and 10 laps hard work, chipping away at it.
Fast, he just squirts out of the corner. You know, under normal circumstances, Valentino going.
Every ounce, every lap this man has ever done. All that
he did. He went out too wide, and Jack immediately cut to the inside to the first turn here.
And that's the way Jack rides, and then Jack sort of popped. Ducati sort of jumps away a little bit on acceleration. Is he going to have a go around here into turn 5? This is the turn.
Would be brave.
He is.
And to be frank with you, for 8th place here, Paul Spargo just on 1 point at the moment on the KTM.
He's not
showing the outside.
Just perfect.
Yeah, just enough to block him.
Yeah.
From cutting inside. Cal, yeah. That is going to be equally as difficult. 3.8 second lead at the line last time around. From
how much Paulo Spargo is going to want to scalp Lorenzo here.
He's there.
Too many Red Bulls before the race.
I wonder what the gap is now. Alex Rins, 3.8 again. The Suzuki man.
Rossi said, sorry Keith.
He'll be watching his dashboard.
This point in the race, you've got Danilo Petrucci, just set his fastest lap, and Valentino.
Pretty impressive. We got a 10th out of the fastest lap of the race. That's pretty impressive.
Here comes Rossi on. I bet he never thought he was going to pass him at this point.
Yeah,
in the race.
And all in one sector, Morbidelli has gone back to 8th place because Valentino Rossi, once he got past that Ducati, that extra squirt is so typically Valet. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Jack won that roadblock.
He really had. Yeah. No, he really had, and I think he would be actually from that bike.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Very true.
So now we've got 6th place for Valentino.
But it's
you've got to wonder, haven't you? With 5 laps to go now. Well, those two Ducatis are a long way up the road, but not that tantalising time we've got left. Let's keep an eye on Rossi's time once he gets a clip Petrucci. No, 2.5 off the back of Petrucci. That's doable. That would be pretty special.
This man's looked great again all weekend.
The absolute
in the
race
race
today in the race. He hasn't.
Just that Suzuki, for whatever reason, it seems to.
But you could say the same about the professor that's tucked in. He's going to try and make that place.
And Maverick Viñales needs this in Argentina, an 11th place last time.
Time out, if you remember as well. He was proper. Maverick getting the board. Mile. Angel Nieto, Jerez,
that's frustrating.
13.
Last corner.
Oh, yeah, he's on the penalty loop. Dobry can sniff this place quite easily. It feels.
Exactly, and you'd assume the Ducati would struggle a little bit in flowing corners.
Tell you what, Mav was good on to turn 8. Wonderfully busy, isn't it? through the two right-handers. Beautifully fast corners. Motorbike racers
Control the rear of the bike a lot easier. The slow hairpin.
go with it. Here we go then.
And Aleix Espargaro. Do you think Aleix will be...
This bike though here this
He hasn't
weekend.
it?
This is a little disappointing, I would say.
He's riding it a little bit more like Marquez, a bit more aggressive. Bike's moving around a little.
Disaster for Andrea Iannone today. Looking down the order, Bradley Smith is in 19th place at the moment in front of Hafiz Syrin. Alex Rins, who looks so casual, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Looks so...
Do you know what I mean, Keith? It's his personality. He's just a real... when you just have to put your feet down.
Yeah, that's true. So, oh, Jack Miller.
What were we saying? Because he's gesturing at...
So,
Oh, what a shame to crash at this point in the race.
there's a lot of...
And a third and a...
Here it is, yeah,
oh,
it
what
is
did I-
Aleix.
Oh, and then he cuts back under him.
It was predicted.
It was pretty.
Aleix is lucky to have stayed on that.
The problem is when you get two incredibly... This man must be smiling in his helmet after that last race, that crash.
A bit left to go then for Marc Marquez.
I tell you what, they're not that... Rins is not that far...
How should we say? Judging it perfectly.
Well,
Back in front by a point over Alex Rins. Last lap time. Alex Rins is there, although Maverick Vinales has closed him down a bit.
he set their fastest lap. This has to be Vinales, otherwise the last of the late breakers, Dovizioso, and then
Gets it on the gas.
use that Italian...
To pull it down, yes he has, pulled it to the apex.
Well,
Blocked off Dobby's
forward this race to the last corner because it's coming. He has to have...
second place on the Suzuki. It's been a superb ride from the 42.
If you risk it into the last corner...
Here we go, through the fast, long right-handers. This Dobby is the man on the brakes. Marc Marquez comes to Jorge Lorenzo corner first. Make that enough on the Yamaha to hold on to that third place. Dobby is going to be thwarted. Spaniard, 26 years old. His 46th win then in MotoGP. So we have a Honda, a Suzuki and a Yamaha across the line. Valentino Rossi gets 6th place from way down on the
30
grid.
times here, it's a Spanish rider, first, second, all. It's fair play to him. I said he had to do the best lap of the race and he set his fastest lap on that.
Third place. Well, here's a man that's had a funny old week down, slid off in pit lane for no good reason other than the fact the slope was going the wrong.
Like I say, 12th in the championship.
But will he be able to carry it forward? Is the
We've seen him around there win